guys, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Good, thank you.
Good to be in Pori.
Yeah. You were before last year.
Yeah.
Before last year.
In November, I think.
Yeah,
right here.
November 18th.
Yeah. I was unable to come to see you, so but this time I'm here.
Glad you're here now.
Welcome.
So for those that don't know Awake Again, would you mind to introduce yourself and give us some biographical hints?
Where do we start? We are awake again. We have played since 2013.
That's when the band was founded.
That's when we founded the band, and we released the first music actually. It was until 2016. I think the first single was Turning Point, and after that we've been playing like 150 shows around Finland mainly. Few shows abroad, one in Stockholm and one in Wacken, and released our debut album in 2022. No matter how the world turns, and after that we've just been releasing like an EP last year, and released a new song, Soil, a month ago. Working on some new music, and what else?
We consider ourselves a post-hardcore band, so that's our
That's the
our
best
most current genre.
best label we could
Yeah.
Yeah.
find for ourselves.
Right.
Sometimes it's difficult to define a band music because in particular nowadays bands have different influences, and it's good that bands are free to put whatever they want in their music.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing.
Yeah, and we're post-hardcore thing is not like 100% accurate, maybe, at least if you ask certain people, but it's the best we could, like, if we like compare it to other artists, it's the most accurate one. But,
Yeah, if you have to put a name on it.
yeah,
That's the best.
until we make up our own genre.
Exactly. Awake Againism.
Yes.
Why did you choose the name Awake Again?
There's not any exciting
why?
stories behind that. We had a few applicants that we considered, and what was the first one? I forgot.
Matti is the only one like left from the founding members.
Yeah.
But at least you have told me the story that your first option was Wide Awake.
Yeah, that's
but,
right.
But,
Yeah.
but that was already taken by
Yeah.
some other band. So you decided to go with Awake Again because it looks nice when it's written.
Yeah, and it's 2 A's, but I think we wanted something like energetic. And what's more energetic than being awake?
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me.
Let's talk about your music and in particular about the last two singles that you released. River was released last December,
Yeah.
and now Soil last month.
Yeah.
So what can you tell about those two songs lyrically and musically wise?
Well, let's start with River.
Yep.
Well, River was like because when we started writing new music, we kind of made like a plan, sort of a plan, which type of song we want to make. And we had one song which I requested that I want to like that we write as simple song as possible with like simple chord progression and little parts of that. So
To
that
make
was
a radio-friendly song.
a radio-friendly song, and like I always adore songwriting that's really simple. So that was like the target, and I think there's like simple chord progression and one riff, so that's very very simple. But I think we did find that it works well enough with those elements, and and lyrically, well, you can talk about the river stuff.
Well, in the lyrics, the river resembles universe, and in the chorus, it's basically about the moment that you realize that like this everything in this moment is only one thing, and you see like water everywhere, but then you realize you are the water, and so that's where comes like the river metaphor for like this flowing and ever changing this moment, and like which encapsulates everything. So that's like where comes the punchline, you are the river.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very like a Zen Buddhist inspired thing.
And I think we all felt that when we were sort of workshopping the lyrics and picking the theme that well, the news hadn't been that great, so a song kind of connecting with other people and current moment that felt pretty good to all of us.
Yeah, and there's like a hopeful mood in the song as well. There's a big choir, which is like the foundation of the chorus and the whole song. That there's a lot of there's a lot of voices in choir, so that's a cool thing. Like also like a lot of people connecting and singing the same thing. And we applied to the Finnish Eurovision qualification contest.
Okay.
Who won't go with that? So if we would have made it to the finals, we wouldn't have a big choir in the stage, which would have been great.
Okay, now that's makes me question the people that choose the songs to go to UMCO.
Thank you.
Because your song is better than every other song that was on the contest. So
Thank you.
Now we have that on record.
yeah. So I don't understand, but I'm
What can you do?
What can you do?
yeah.
Well, I like Erika Wigman and Nelly Makula's
Exactly.
songs. Great, and
Yeah.
Yeah, they
were
are
trending.
good, but not that good.
But River good?
Yeah, but that was like when we were like producing the song. That was like we thought about playing it in Eurovision. That's why like the middle part has the the stadium anthem type of thing and stuff like that. So it really influenced the Eurovision songs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you thinking to try again this Eurovision?
Maybe if we have the right song. Yeah.
I think we will try.
Yeah.
It is such a great opportunity for any band to be in the finals, like the national finals, and maybe going to Eurovision, but like all the exposure from the UMCO, I'm pretty sure that we will apply.
And from the songwriting aspect, it's a pretty nice challenge to sort of fit a song under 3 minutes that is kind of talking to a Eurovision crowd, but without losing your own voice, like as a band. So trying to sound like ourselves, but to an audience that could appreciate also the connection and the Eurovision qualities in the song. So that's a nice challenge.
And I think all of us enjoy Eurovision.
Highly entertaining.
So we have no bother. We are not bothered by being associated with Eurovision.
absolutely.
I also like Eurovision, so
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I'm following. I like to follow beforehand and after.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss the final this year because there is a gig here, but
okay.
maybe the last 2 hours I can make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So see who's going to win this year.
Yeah.
You'll keep checking your phone during the night.
Yeah. So I was going to be. I have my favorite.
Okay.
Who's your
Okay.
favorite?
Guess
Estonia.
Kai Barbas.
Kai.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, it is catchy. It is
Yeah.
catchy.
Catchy.
Pretty catchy. Yeah.
Yeah, there is this fun choreography that it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Us
And,
Finnish people, we're pretty conflicted about the Finnish representative and the Sweden's representative because we're all very proud of those two.
Yeah. But I'm a bit mad that there is no metal entry this year.
Yeah.
For a long time, it's the first time I think that there
Yeah,
is no
it's a
metal.
shame.
There is some alternative rock,
Okay.
but not metal.
Yeah.
But let's
we would have fit right in.
yeah. Exactly.
Maybe next
But
year.
let's get back to your music.
Yeah. Anything else about River?
Well, actually, in the beginning, the word river came from your demo lyrics.
Once again.
Yeah, because when we make songs, and Matti makes he does these demo lyrics for the song, the chorus should be something like this, blah 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 blah, and there was the word river that kind of stood out, and then we like worked around that, and then came the idea for the metaphor what river could be.
Because the universe spoke to us.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
Through us.
yes. We
You
are
are the
universe.
messenger of the universe.
Yes, what can you do? Just accept the role and
Yeah.
do the best you can.
But yeah, that's like where the word river originally came from. But then it made sense, like this metaphor, like
Yeah.
not to talk about like some exact river or like water, like as itself, but you know, like what it could be.
Yeah.
So that's how that came to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Soil, latest song, it was also like from a plan that we wanted to make like what was the title? I don't know what's the word.
Slovari, like
Slow and heavy.
Like a ballad, like a slow and heavy song.
Heavy ballad.
Heavy ballad.
Yeah.
But
even though it's not a ballad.
It's
but,
not a
yeah,
ballad,
but,
but it's a
we
slow.
we want to make a slower song.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was in the shower and I got this thing going on in my head and I had to hum it to my phone. And I still have the recording. It goes like, I was like that. And it's pretty accurate how it turned out to be. And immediately after that, I'm a lousy guitar player, but I tried if I could play it on guitar. But yeah, and after that, I was like, this is kind of catchy. And a few pitch shifting stuff later, I sent it to the guys. How about this? And then Petteri was immediately like it should
Must be slower.
It could be like 10 BPM slower.
Yeah.
And then and after that, just pretty basic chord progression stuff. And then I felt like the part after the chorus, where's the stuff like that happening, because it needed something like that would like make more attention to it. So then we had like a long time that there wasn't like a proper melody for the part before the chorus. And then I've been doing little soundtrack work for a video game. I enjoy a lot of movie soundtracks and stuff like that. And they use a lot of like these motifs inside the songs that you had a certain melody, which has several versions, like a darker tone, more positive tone. So we had the riff after the chorus, and I felt like if could that like dark theme could be written like a more positive vibe. So I tried to took the same intervals as the riff, and then the melody that comes before the came from that riff. So it kind of like tied the two together, and it was like two sides of the same coin, which fit with the mood of the song. But yeah, and from the very beginning we had like the theme that we wanted to write something about like about death, but not like not just the sad part, but something, you know, it could be seen as a beautiful thing as well, or what it represents when you like lose someone, something important that usually precedes something beautiful that you feel so strongly about. So there must be something positive if you feel like really sad about something. So I think Maron nailed the line, soil of love is bound to grow sorrow. Which we had like 15 different versions, and then Maron was suddenly, there we go.
Yeah.
That's the line.
Yeah.
And the hopeful part came from like the idea of having some dialogue, like expressing your own sorrow and sense of losing stuff, but also like receiving something back, something hopeful, something giving you power. So that gave like a glimmer of hope into this big song over 5 minutes long with super heavy riffs and even lower key than we normally play in, so it fit perfectly in where you have this dynamic of light and darkness. So I think it ended up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good time to see the death in another light, because in the Occidental culture we see the death like something bad, something very dramatic that Yes, but in other cultures they celebrate it,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
embrace, and if we think in life we have just one certain thing, and it's death.
Yeah.
Everything else is a question mark, but
Yeah.
death is something that is going to happen. Nobody know when.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, we want to live a long life and
Yeah.
successful, but death at some point will come,
Yeah.
and we should embrace it and learn to accept
Yeah.
it and celebrate in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the lyrics are basically about, like, most of it. It's like the struggle, like, not to celebrate it, but like cling on to grief and not like letting go it when somebody has passed. But to see, but then there's also the other side to see that, like, they like the grief is always a sign of, like,
Something important.
love and attachment and all these, like, good qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't really miss things that are of no importance to us.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I have said many times that the feeling of missing someone is one of the most beautiful things you can have, because it tells you that you have something valuable or something beloved in your life. So even though it feels horrible sometimes, but it's a sign of something beautiful that you have experienced before.
yeah.
It's pain that you don't want to be without.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you miss a lot of things if you avoid that.
Yeah.
Try to yeah,
Yeah. And now we are working on a new EP
yeah.
that should coming out soonish.
Maybe.
Maybe.
this year at least.
year.
Hopefully
Next fall.
next fall. Yeah.
Okay, so what can you tell about the songs that are going to be on the EP?
River and soil.
Well, basically, it's going to be the same thing that we did with the previous EP. That we release singles, and they will compile an EP. And now we have released River and Soil, and there will be one more song. We don't know if it's going to be like if it's out early summer or early fall. We'll see. But that's going to be the third song, and the fourth song we don't know yet
Okay.
which it's going to be. But yeah, that's like, and those 4 songs will compile an EP.
Yeah. It's gonna be heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also pretty fast.
Heavy and fast. Yes.
Heavy and fast.
Yeah. Yeah. The soil was so slow that it has to be fast.
Yeah, I think that people that have enjoyed Awake Against faster songs are gonna really enjoy our next song. Like I said.
Nice.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if not, too bad, and we will move on to the next one.
Yeah. Can't please everyone.
Yeah.
Let's get to the past a bit and talking about. I want to ask about 2 songs.
Yeah.
One was the Busy Doing Nothing,
Yeah.
featuring Lena
Yeah.
from Infected the Rain. So how was to collaborate with her, and how did you get in touch?
Well, it was great.
What do you want to talk about?
What were you about to say?
Not just how we made it happen, like how it turned out.
Go ahead.
Well, basically, we had the song, and before we had recorded it, but played it live, Kasper, our former guitar player, used to like sing the parts that Lena sang in the chorus. But when we were making the song, like these master recordings, we thought that this would be nice to have somebody feature on this song, and then we also thought that it would be cool to have a woman, so that there would be more like difference to Matti's voice. So that would be cool. And then we thought about like the best fits for the song, and then you have like this like super like A tier, like not that Lena is not A tier, but like big stars that are like, you know, unreachable to small bands like us. But Lena was on this website. I don't know if it's up anymore. Feature X, where you can like request features from different artists, and then Lena was there, and we thought that that would be a great fit, and then we contacted her, and we made a deal, and uh, we sent her the lyrics and how the song should go, and then she recorded the vocals in Moldova with, I don't know, with her engineering friend or something like that, like studio engineer, and yeah, and she sent us her vocals, and they were awesome. So it's not that like there is nothing more interesting than that to the
Yeah,
story,
but I think she was like the only option we had. We started from the top.
yes,
We didn't even ask anyone else.
Yeah.
We said, let's go for it.
yeah, and she was like, yes,
Yeah, and I remember our like group WhatsApp. We had caps like, Leno answered.
yes, yeah, that's true.
We couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we couldn't believe it.
We were
Yeah, that was like
she's
super
not gonna
awesome.
reply. She doesn't even see the message and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was crazy because we didn't even consider anyone else.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Lena?
Yes, we met. We supported them on the Rocks Helsinki. A few years after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we met.
Yeah. And you chat about the song.
A
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Yeah,
I,
she
I
is.
met her last summer in Tuska, and yeah, she's very sweet and a very nice person.
Yes, she is.
Yes,
very
yeah.
cool
she is.
person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but that was a really unbelievable thing to happen, and that end product became much better than we dared to cope.
Yeah, like she made the song so much better. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Then the other track that I don't want to talk about the song itself because maybe you answer like many times to the question. So I want to talk about the music videos because I think that in particular you look amazing in that video, and it's the cover of Katy Perry.
I knew it because it couldn't be any other video when you said I look amazing because that's the only video I look amazing.
Because you're fabulous.
I'm fabulous, yes, fabulous. I'm flamboyant. Agree is the word. Yeah.
So what can you tell about the making of the music video?
We had fun.
A lot, probably.
We had fun. Well, basically we had the cover, but we wanted also to cover the music videos of Katy Perry because no one that hasn't been done that much. So we took 4 of her videos and just tried to like replicate them image to image with our lots of production values and green screen, and then like each of us could be Katy Perry in those different settings. So yeah, it was a pretty grandiose idea, but
It was a very grandiose idea. It was Dark Horse. Kassu was from the music video Roar.
yeah,
Makke was it was a Bon Appetit, and was my Hot and Cold.
hot and cold. Yeah,
Yes.
you get to be the bride.
Yeah. So those were like the four videos that we covered. Cover.
Yeah, that was so.
That was crazy production.
So much fun. So much fun. We got to Makke jump into the pool of lauer.
Yeah.
2 times because we weren't sure.
We put like a shit ton of flour on like a air mattress, and she fell like backwards. He fell backwards
from the ladder.
Yeah, to the flour to get the effect that was in the Bon Appetit music video.
And then we built like the boat from Dark Horse video, the Egypt team, and then we had the sticks and stuff, and Makke was the tiger from the Roar video.
He was Tiger from the Roar video, but he was wearing my fox costume.
Yeah.
He wasn't a tiger, but he was a fox.
I think the single most
Finnish taste in the music
the
video.
best single shot from that video is that when the Casper is the groom, I'm the bridesmaid, you're the bride.
Yeah.
Makke is the priest,
Yeah.
and when the groom runs away from the aisle and we throw the flowers
Yeah.
in slow motion.
Yeah.
that was the best part. But yeah, it was super fun, and we never had like worked with green screen before, so everything was new, and we didn't know what to do with it, and I had to learn from the scratch how to remove the background and it didn't went that well. And then we had the deadline, and I realized like the evening before we were supposed to release the music video how to do it properly. So I tried the last few hours just to get it right, but it's you can see this is still from the end product that it's not made by professionals. But what the heck?
It's a fun video, so
That is, exactly.
that's the point.
That was intentional.
Yeah.
So no one expect a too serious production.
Yeah.
It's meant to be fun.
Yeah, it's like really campy.
Yeah. And I like, of course, I like also the video that are well done, and there is all this story behind, blah blah blah. But sometimes the fun videos are something that I just get back to.
Yeah, and hopefully you can see from the video that we had a fun time.
And I have seen some shoots that you also were on stage at some point with women clothes on.
Yeah, a few times actually.
Yeah,
Because we had the Dark Horse clothes on.
Yeah, but then we did before Dark Horse we did Drop the Bomb.
Yeah.
And in that music video we had like women's clothes, and when the song was released, like the release show for the song, we had women's clothes on stage. But also we had like women's clothes on when we shot some parts for the Dark Horse music video. Yes.
Yeah.
There we were also, so at least twice.
Yeah.
And talking about live music, so you have played a lot of gigs. So far, what was the best experience? Was it Wacken or?
I'm sorry guys, but it was Wacken. Yeah.
All right, fuck off.
I'm not
Fair enough.
I'm not 100% if it was Wacken. Wacken was like really great, but I feel like at least I wasn't like that good of a singer or musician back then as I maybe am now. So
It wasn't our best show, but as a personal experience for me
it's
it was best.
one of the most memorable, but I don't know if that was the best show. Like if you consider every part of it. Yeah. I mean, it was straight from a like Hollywood movie, because when they're behind the curtain, then they open the curtains. There's like 5,000 people there, like so that was a really like life-changing moment. But I don't know.
What do you think, Petter?
Yeah,
So
you guys.
do you have any
mine?
memorable gigs?
One gig pops into my mind. It was Mikkeli Black Box.
Mine too.
It was your first gig, by the way.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't
No,
the
it
first, but it was one of the first.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say that too.
Yeah, there was such a great atmosphere,
Yeah.
and I think we nailed it. As
I
well.
think we nailed it too. It was super nice hosting by Blood Red Hourglass.
Yeah.
So that was a super nice venue, and then there were a few people that had actually heard us before, but a bunch of people just were there to see new bands, listen to metal music, and I think we got them both. So they both just joined hands and came to our show, and later on we got like so many new fans from that gig. So for me, especially, being very new in the band, that was a really powerful sort of show. So it was nice feeling from start to end.
And you were like, this is what it is now.
Yeah, rock and roll, man, power and fame.
Yeah.
And then back to Pori's Monttu.
Monttu is great.
Monttu is great.
Yeah.
Because I think we had a damn good show last time here.
Yes, we
we
had.
did one of the funniest shows.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So much fun.
Was there enough people?
Yeah,
There were.
absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Positive surprise. Yeah, and like really good atmosphere, and people were energetic, and we had really good time. Yeah.
We had nice back and forth with the crowd.
Yeah, one of the most memorable speaks between the songs. Yeah.
I think that the people in Pori, they answer if you ask something. There is something coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they are sitting on the corner,
Yeah.
they are active in talking back.
Yeah. Yeah, to me that's one of the best parts of the show. If you
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
like communicate with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
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 because the most unexpected things happen back and forth, like on stage and off stage.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you are on the stage, what happens in your head? Are you thinking of what you are doing? Is everything like coming, like if you don't need to think, or what's going on when you are on stage in your head?
Well, there's a lot of differences between
Yeah.
songs, I think, because
Yeah.
some of the songs are challenging enough to keep you really concentrated in what you're doing. So if, for example, I'm singing and playing some riff and changing effects on my pedal board, that's pretty much all I can think about in that moment. But especially with the singing parts and when the crowd is kind of going wild and you're comfortable with the song, I think you're just concentrating on the sort of back and forth with the crowd. So you're performing for them and they're cheering for you, and then it sort of develops, and that's a powerful feeling.
Yeah. Like for me, it varies like very much from show to show. Because like last weekend we were in Jyväskylä and in Hämeenlinna, and for me personally, the Jyväskylä show was like a bit hard in the sense that like I didn't feel that I was like on top of the songs. I had to like really concentrate and listen to the band and like really concentrate on what I'm doing. So that's like the other side of it. But then the next night in Hämeenlinna, I felt like super comfortable. I was like on top of the music, and then when you're like on top of it, then you can just like let go and like enjoy and just let go and everything comes naturally and you're like let's go and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
And
you
it
know,
did.
but it did. The crowd did go wild.
Yeah.
So like it varies. But and also sometimes there's moments when I like totally zone out, and then and a one moment later I'm back. At this moment I was like, oh shit, where am I? Like,
Yeah.
in the show. So that happens also, but yeah, it varies.
We are human.
Yeah. That's pretty much the same for me, as Willa mentioned. When you are really in the zone and on top of the music you're playing, you don't have to even think about what you are doing. You're just going with the flow and enjoying. And sometimes, I don't even know why, but sometimes it's harder to get on top of the music. And when, at least for me, when I start to think what I'm doing, then I'm screwed.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
think about it too much, then
Yeah.
you can actually mess up
Overfocus.
like
Yeah.
without going with the muscle memory of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you mess up the easiest.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That somehow those end up like the slower, easier parts are easier to sort of miss
Yeah.
when you're on stage for some reason.
Yeah. To me, I feel like on stage when if there aren't any technical issues, then you can just concentrate on playing, singing. I feel like that's the one place where I can truly be myself. I don't have to like hide anything. I can feel all the emotions that the songs make me feel, even if it's a happy emotion or a sad emotion. I feel like that's the most comfortable place for me to be when you're in the zone, that you don't have to worry about the technical side of things. You can just like go with the music and stuff. So because everywhere else you have to be like we're from the child we're supposed to like sit and just like focus on stuff and like be normal, but on stage you can go if you feel like it, or you can like cry with the song if you feel like the emotions are really hard, which like still it's not like maybe as easy to cry like in public places as a man of my age. But in stage I can be like,
Have you ever cried on stage?
yeah, many times. Yeah.
I cried at last show.
Yeah, me
Last
too.
episode. No problem.
No problem. Yeah. That's a safe space.
Yeah.
Exactly. For the
Yeah.
crowd too.
Hopefully for the crowd too as well.
Yeah.
And I think like the crowd, like we are like, of course we put a show, but on stage we are as ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think that people want to see like our true selves, not like that I'm villain with like a tough guy, because I'm not like a tough guy in like
Yeah.
in real life. So they don't want to see my like tough guy performance. They want to see me and like my emotions and my connection to the
Without
music
filter.
without
Yeah,
filter.
filters.
Yeah, they don't
So it's
want
genuine.
They want
Yeah.
genuine emotions.
Yeah,
So
that's the best thing when there is and the emotion come out. So if the artist show emotions on the stage, I think that people enjoy even more the show
Yeah.
because
I
they
think so
can
too.
feel that energy.
And
Yeah, yeah.
connected
Yeah.
to the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think it's like either or. You're genuine, or you're like you perform as someone else. But in the middle, it's not that great usually. Like
Yeah.
you be one or the other.
Yeah.
We will start like a band with masks when
Yeah.
we start performing someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we'll get like Sleep Token or Slipknot after that. Yeah. But to me, if I'm playing with my own face, then that's what you get.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Yeah.
What are your main influences? I know it's a big question, but if each of you can name two, three bands or something else, I don't know what inspired you to write music and play.
Want to start?
For myself, my biggest influences growing up were probably Children of Bodom and Slipknot. And of course the drumming parts from their songs. And Joey Jordison and Jaska Raatikainen are both my heroes from childhood. So that's pretty easy answer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna answer as influences as a singer or as a songwriter, or but maybe I answer as a singer. I think like when I was a child, my mother used to listen a lot of Bon Jovi, and we had Queen playing in our home a lot. So I think Freddie Mercury and John Bon Jovi were like the early influences for me. And after that, there was like Metallica, James Hetfield, and after that it came like Children of Bodom and Alex Laiho with the screaming stuff. That was like the first touch for me. And then came these like metalcore bands like Bullet for My Valentine was like one of my early favorites. So many influences, but yeah, it was like 5 or something. But I like to to try different styles.
Yeah.
It's impossible to choose one. Yeah.
Well, my first like metal band that I loved was Iron Maiden when I was a little kid, and after that came Metallica. So like those are like the earliest two, but after that it has like spun to like so many directions. So it like impossible to name just a few. But as a bass player, I think my biggest influences are Billy Sheehan from Mr. Big and various other bands, and Les Claypool from Primus. And lately I've been listening to a lot of Mudvayne, and Mudvayne's Ryan Martini is a virtuoso like bass player, but like really like in their music like the bass really like drives the songs forward, and he has his own style and sound, and I just love it. So yeah, those came to my mind like
Yeah.
When I was a teenager and first starting to pick up the guitar, my influences were pretty similar to a lot of boys of my age. That was Metallica, Megadeth, the thrash metal greats, and so we were all trying to sort of learn those riffs, and that sort of set the path forward. But later on came a lot of influences. But I think that when it comes to guitar playing, then I think one of the most iconic sounds that I've tried to sort of emulate in my playing was Brian May's solos. So the very clean, very melodic, very musical, always serving the song type of solos, and with his signature guitar and style, I think that was sort of stuck with me, that sound, and probably you can hear some of that in my solos today, even though our current music is very different from Queen's, but still I think you can hear that influence there.
We need to start a Queen tribute band.
Yeah, exactly. Please, anytime.
Let's go.
Or you can do the one cover, for example, and do another fun music video.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
In
yeah.
which, in which
wanna
each
break
of you
free.
maybe
Yeah, that has a cool music video. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite music video from Queen is also maybe the best song is Breakthrough.
That's a great song. On the train.
Yeah, they're playing on top of the train, and only Freddie Mercury can like put the microphone to the audience from a moving train. That's such a power move.
Yeah, only 30 things. Yeah.
But as influences for Awake Again, like when the band was founded, like the main influence was Enter Shikari.
Yeah.
And in our on our Spotify page and in TikTok page and various places, we name our three main influences: Enter Shikari, System of a Down, and Bring Me the Horizon. So those are the where Awake Again sound was born. But of course, we are different individuals from different musical backgrounds. So of course, it comes out as something else. But those are the main influences.
Yeah. Without Enter Shikari, this band wouldn't exist. I remember when we were talking about forming a band with Kasper, who was the original guitar player. We were like so much into Enter Shikari that this is the type of music we want to make. So much crazy electronic stuff going on, and all this. What is this? We want to make this. So if we weren't that excited about that, I think we never started this band.
Yeah. So that was the core.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But now it's great that each of you can put its own influences and create something that is unique, because when everybody puts their own, then it's unique because everybody is different. So
and Enter Shikari, they're constantly evolving their sound. They never release a boring thing or boring song. It's always something, you may not like it, but it's always something exciting.
And that's the point. I think that in particular in the metal scene, there are a lot of people that cannot accept that a band explores something else, but music is hard, and of course musician needs sometimes to explore and go to another way, and maybe one album sounds in a way and the other album is completely different, and it's nothing wrong, but people sometimes don't understand that.
That's true.
I think it's very human to be sort of attached to an experience. So if you've loved a band, if you've loved one record, and that evokes so much emotion in you, obviously you want to sort of hear more of that. As for some people, it means I want to hear the exact same thing in just a new package. But for a musician, making the same thing over and over again, that might sort of
start to get boring.
It starts to get boring. So to keep it interesting and to keep the sort of songs genuine, I think evolving is a necessity to a lot of bands. Not to every band. For example, AC/DC, we're just fine. We're just fine as it is. But to a lot of musicians, I think trying new stuff is exciting.
But like the music can turn out to be like very like ungenuine if you like try to mimic the stuff that you've done before, and it doesn't
become
like
a zombie.
And it doesn't come like naturally from your songwriting. So like the people that would like their favorite band to like keep going on in in some like style that they would do like album after that. But most likely, if the band like would have stuck with the sound, they would just like the records would like become worse and worse. Like they wouldn't like it. It's just the old stuff, but not as good. So like nobody wins.
But imagine if AC/DC releases a symphonic black metal album next year.
That would be something.
That would be something. That's true. Something that would be.
But I also think that in that case, if they wanted to do that, then like of course they can always start a new project. Like if you really want to make a symphonic black metal album, like there is no need to release it under the name of AC/DC. But of course the band can evolve and like start to take some turn to some direction. But like to make something completely different, maybe in that case it would be better to just start a new project, which many artists do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they start playing AC/DC downstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They heard us.
Did they hear us?
Yeah. You call. You call.
It's a universe that is
Yeah.
still speaking.
We
It
manifested.
hasn't, it
We're in
hasn't
the
turned
river
on.
now. It's
You,
nice.
yeah, the universe is working through you. So
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what
Yeah,
happened.
we are the messengers of universe.
Yeah.
Manifest yourself.
That's our side project.
Yeah.
Messengers of universe.
We want to be low key.
Yeah.
Now everybody's gonna know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Play AC/DC covers.
But we are done with this interview. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Nice talking to you.
Would you like to say something to your fans and people that are watching this interview?
Absolutely. Best regards. It's super nice to see you in gigs. Hopefully you enjoy our music and our newest songs that we're going to release. And please join us at our gigs. The future gigs will be...
In when will we visit?
So when this will be out?
Tuesdays
Sorry?
before Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Okay, soon.
So next show will be in Helsinki, semifinal,
Yeah.
22nd of May.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hope we see you there. And then we have a few festivals: Rockfest in Turku, Metallivuori in Turku, and then Varparock in Juankoski.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hope we
We'll
see
see
you
you
there.
at the shows.
Yeah.
Kiitos.
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 Kiitos.